Binghe, Shen Qingqiu, Shen Yuan, I'm trying. Hello. Following my binge of Mo Shang-Tongqiu novels, I've now finished Scum Villain's self-saving system. Don't really know what to do now. JK, I've still got loads on my list. I've also added another Dan May novel to my list because now I'm in a hole that I just can't get out of. I forgot what that novel's called though. It's got 1000 in the title. For some reason I thought it was called 1000 Lanterns, but I don't think that's what its name is. It might be though. I'm pretty sure it's not. It might be though. So, Scum Villain is Mo Shang-Tongqiu's first novel and it was released in 2015. GDC followed it after in 2016. They're only a year apart. Damn, she been cracking them out. Oh my god, this next novel is going to be like 1000 chapters in it, with how long it's taken her to release it. Here is the plot summary from Goodreads. Can't I read stallion novels anymore? Shen Yuan is reborn into a young man and scum villain destined to die, Shen Qingqiu. But it must be known that the original Shen Qingqiu was sliced alive by his disciple, Luo Binghe, into a human stick. A human stick! Shen Qingqiu's heart is a full herd of grass mud horses running full tilt. Shen Qingqiu's heart is a full herd of mud horses running... Okay, the summary on Goodreads, not gonna lie, I don't like it. There's too many phrases that don't translate well culturally. So here's my summary. Shen Yuan, known on the internet as Peerless Cucumber, dies in our world. He is transported to the world of a stallion novel he recently finished. Not only did he finish it, he hated it to his dying breath. He awakens in this world as the villain, Shen Qingqiu, who torments the protagonist, Luo Binghe. As Shen Qingqiu tries to navigate this world and change his fate in becoming a human stick at the hands of a protagonist, he is met with many changes to the original plot along the way. Why is all the romance that should be going to the women in the plot imposed on him? Why is a scum villain should he still have to block gun and knife for the protagonist and sacrifice himself? This is the story of a master and disciple's very strange dog-blood process of falling in love. It's also a scum villain's first-hand account of a male protagonist turning from a small white sheep into an overbearing black king sort of story. TLDR, I liked it. This novel is quite hard to describe because it's a novel within a novel. How much are we to take as Mo Shang-Tongqiu's ideas and how much are tropes that she's purposefully using to make fun of or parody? I'm actually quite shocked with this novel. I won't lie, I had really low expectations before reading it. I thought, it's Mo Shang-Tongqiu's first novel, it'll probably be really rough. It's actually pretty well written. I do understand it's probably the most edited of Mo Shang-Tongqiu's novels. She's had more time to go into it compared to, say, Heaven Official's Blessing. As someone pretty new to Chinese novels in general, I do think some tropes have probably gone over my head. There were probably loads of parodies happening that I didn't realise were parodies because I have no context. That's not a criticism, it's just my own inexperience. With this novel, I feel like I want more, but it was also the novel with the best wrap-up. We haven't got many loose ends, if any. I feel like there is one, but I can't remember it, so it obviously means it wasn't anything significant. A thing I found really fun when reading this novel was seeing the similarities between this and the other two. Because this one was obviously the first of all of her novels, it's like seeing the seed be planted to then become a fully fleshed idea in her other novels. So, does it matter what order you read these in? I wouldn't say so. I think you can have a go at any of Mo Shang-Tongqiu's novels in whatever order you like and it doesn't hinder your experience. As these are all stories within separate worlds, e.g. one is about ghosts and gods, one is about cultivation, and one is set in a novel, there aren't any like precursors you need to worry about. For me, I like to see these as separate worlds. I think there are people out there who see them as a shared universe. For all I know, Mo Shang-Tongqiu has said these are all in the same universe. But just from my experience, I just prefer to read them as separate novels. Oh my god, what if her fourth book is like where all the worlds collide? Bruh. Although I think it's set in present time, so that's probably not it. But they are immortal. What I liked about this plot is that the main character, Shen Qingqiu, is aware of what will happen in the future. So you're reading, wondering how Shen Qingqiu will alter what happened, or what will happen when he's forced to make decisions he doesn't want to make. You witness him meet characters he's read about, who will betray them, who will be in Luo Binghe's harem, how people will die, so it's really interesting seeing it all fold out. The big question, is it as good as the other two? Yes. This is kind of like their forefather, you know? The beginning of it all. It definitely doesn't disappoint in the smut sector either, though it could have had a bit more. I think people have had issues with the sort of relationship between the two characters. At the minute I'm sort of on the fence because I mean, I can't get into spoilers, can I? I'll get into spoilers later. As with Heaven Official's Blessing, I won't be comparing these with plot because they're different. Instead, I will be comparing writing. I will be looking at writing-wise how these three compare to each other. I don't even know who my favourite character is in this. Like, the support characters aren't really that deeply looked into, so it's hard to have any attachment to any of them apart from Shen Qingqiu and Luo Binghe because we've read more about them. I think I'll actually say my fave is Zhou Lang. We peek into his history in an extra, and he's such a loyal dude. I think this also ties into my criticisms with the characters. They aren't that fleshed out. I mean, we don't even know much about Shen Yuan's past life. We don't even learn how he dies. We get a lot of side characters thrown at us and just told to accept how they are, and they're just pretty one-dimensional characters. But then because of the whole setting, did Mo Tongqiu leave them as one-dimensional characters because she was parodying That's How They Are in Stallion novels, or was it just her experience as a writer? Because of this though, it does mean we don't get many loose ends as we did with the other two novels. Some diehard fans are going to be really offended that I'm giving criticism. It's a process, isn't it? Like, she'll get better as she goes on and people need to say their opinions for her to get better as a writer. I don't think you need to have an arc about side characters to make them two-dimensional. With Mo Tongqiu, it feels like she only knows how to reveal more about a character if they have their own arc, which then leads to problems if their arc isn't wrapped up that well. Over all three novels, I would say my favourite characters are the Windmaster and Rainmaster. I feel like the Windmaster himself is probably the most fleshed out side character that she's written about. And I think the Rainmaster is probably just the best girl character she's written, in all honesty. Though, there is Ling Wen. Okay, I guess Ling Wen. Who's more fleshed out? Ling Wen. I'd say Ling Wen is more fleshed out, but Rainmaster is still my favourite. I don't know who my favourite love interest in all these novels would be. It would be between Hua Cheng and Lan Wangji. No offence, Luo Binghe. My favourite MC, I think I'm gonna go with Wei Wuxian, but it's tied between him and Shen Qingqiu. I just think Wei Wuxian has this innocence, and I think his backstory, like, all their backstories are tragic, but his is like, he was just pushed to the breaking point by people and labelled as a villain before he'd even done anything that was wrong. I mean, he did, like, murder people, yeah, but all my favourites, they just change intermittently. Like, I'll reread GDC and then my favourite love interest will be Lan Wangji. I'll reread Scum Villain and my favourite side character will be Zhou Lang. Get ready for the Heaven Official's Blessing Dongque, because then that's probably just going to trump everyone else, and Shi Lian would be my favourite MC. Like, it's just going to change all the time. But yeah, for now, those are my favourites. One thing I appreciate about this novel is that we had a lot of side characters, but unlike the other two, these characters didn't have their own arcs. The grievances I had with the other two were that some of the support characters' wrap-ups weren't that well delivered. With this novel, we don't have that issue. I would say this is a well-written novel. Again, it's probably the most edited of her novels, and credits to the translators too. So the novel starts with Luo Binghe still being Shen Qingqiu's disciple. We then witness Shen Qingqiu have to push Luo Binghe down into the abyss and then 2 time jumps. The plot is very focused on Shen Qingqiu's journey as the antagonist in this story. If I could change anything, I wouldn't make it so easy for people's opinion of Shen Qingqiu to change. Like, he didn't have many people doubting his changing character, and everyone was just kind of like, aight, we cool now. I'd like to have seen more friction between Luo Binghe and Shen Qingqiu's characters as Luo Binghe struggles to accept Shen Qingqiu's change. I would have liked if Shen Qingqiu remained the antagonist of the story, obviously against his will and decisions, instead of introducing a new antagonist. I think that would have created a really interesting plot of how can Shen Qingqiu change people's opinions of himself when he still has to do the actions. And then, you know, you could have friction between Luo Binghe, who is like, you know, how can this dude be kinder to me but still be doing all this stuff? I feel like Luo Binghe was too quick to fall for Shen Qingqiu too. I would have liked to have seen more chapters with just those two, of them like building this bond and this trust. It would have been an interesting plot of like Luo Binghe not understanding that he was gay and attracted to a man. But, you know, I guess they did say that the novel genre changed. So, I mean, I guess that's the explanation for it. Okay, so I said I'd talk about this later and I forgot. Now, a lot of people are torn on the relationship between Luo Binghe and Shen Qingqiu because they feel that it's not healthy. Now, I'm okay with the relationships as long as it's consensual. I do think it's clear that one of Mo Tongcho's kinks is domination. A lot of people just like domination. It's just their kink. Now, I've seen a lot of people saying how Luo Binghe was basically sleeping with Shen Qingqiu's dead body. I will say I never got that from the novel. I just thought he was taking care of it. It was only till after I finished it that I saw people were saying that, but personally I don't think he was doing that. It never said he was doing that. So yeah, those are my general thoughts on the relationship. I don't even have any. Like, there's questions I could ask that could just be parodies I misunderstood. So, next subject. Okay, so I'm gonna have to talk like this now because my mic is broken, so definitely give this novel a read if you're into this genre. It's an interesting take on, I mean, let's face it, it's a saturated genre at this point. It's well written and has some really great moments. Don't go expecting like George R. R. Martin level writing though. Like, this novel does have a dongwa coming out later this year. I wish it well. I have seen this novel had a manhwa, but I can't find it anywhere. As far as I know, the series went on hiatus because of like issues with the artists or the production company, I don't know. But yeah, apparently it has a manhwa, but I haven't seen it. Okay, this mic is getting worse as the days go on, so I mean the audio is probably sounding a lot different now, but here we go. So let me know your thought on Scum Villain. Did you like it? Do you have a favourite of Mo Tongcho's novels? Who's your favourite character in this novel? Do you have any criticisms? Side note, what are your favourite Danmei novels if you're quite a seasoned Danmei reader? I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you in the next one, whichever that may be. I'll probably just go back to doing FMVs, to be honest. Maybe, I don't know. If I find something that I think would be good for review, then yeah, maybe I'll do it, but for now, probably FMVs. I've done it. I've read every Mo Tongcho novel. Which is my favourite? I don't know. I do like this novel, but the other two just have so much more juice. But then the grievances I had with the other two, this one doesn't have. But the other two, they're just such deeper explored stories. I don't know. I guess at the minute, my favourite is Heaven Official's Blessing. Oh, but then Wei Wuxian and Lan Wangji. Oh, I don't know. It's just gonna change, I think, with every month that goes by. Yeah. So yeah. What to do now? I am kind of wondering if it'd be worth doing a video on Mo Tongcho's writing. But then at the same time, you know, if Mo Tongcho is just a writer who writes for fun, not necessarily she wants to be a writer or a novelist, I don't want to critique her too hard because, you know, at the end of the day, she's not doing it as a profession. Like, I don't know her personally. I don't even know if it's a woman. I think it's a woman. I think I've seen other people refer to them as her, so yeah. It's like that's the thing, is because it's like, it's different critiquing George R. R. Martin because his whole career is a writer. I don't know about Mo Tongcho. I don't know if she just does it for fun. Like, I don't know. So I think she definitely is a good writer. Like, her stories are just amazing. Like, I love her stories so much. And I think she just needs to improve with how she handles characters, to be honest. I think that's the major thing that she needs to improve on, because it's sort of like she builds characters up, but then if they're not the main character, they probably won't get a good wrap up and she'll just kind of toss them aside. Like, not saying I'm salty about how the Windmaster was handled, but you know, there is a bit of salt there. Like, it's nothing major though. Like, I wouldn't say, you know, it puts me off the stories. But, you know, I'm not about to be here and be like, she's my favourite writer, she's such a great writer, George R. R. Martin who, like, but yeah, because I haven't read many Chinese novels anyway. So I don't even know what the standard is for Chinese writing. Because it's like, I've noticed that they don't have as much description or metaphors like we do in the West. And I think that's just a cultural thing, like, they just don't write that way. But yeah, this is just me rambling now. Anyway, farewell. Till next time, whenever that may be. I don't know.